Welcome YouTubers to another video. Gizmo, say hi to YouTube. Look at the world's cutest little puppy. Well, YouTubers, I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed with this video. You're probably going to say I'm going to regret this, but this is the last video you're going to see Prime 1 Jungle Hunter 1/3 of my collection. I wouldn't call it 1/3. We are selling it. Well, we have sold it. The person's already paid me. I got all my extra parts out. We're going to go ahead and box it up right now. They did not buy the closed mouth bus, so I will be selling that separately. And, you know, likely going to be buying the Jungle Hunter 1/4, which is more like a 1/3 because it actually pairs better in my setup. So I am selling this for a few reasons. The number one reason is scale. I just do not like the fact it looks way overscaled and doesn't match with everything in this room. You know, this entire room is perfectly scaled except for this. This is the only piece in the room, you know, like for my top shelf pieces, that just looks super out of place. You know, when you compare everything, it all looks perfect, like the size of the heads, the body size, everything. I know predators are bigger creatures, as shown right here. Look how big he is in comparison to Pennywise. He's massive. And I absolutely love this Cinemacat. It's a masterpiece. And I got my bust. I'm still getting the deep tail bust, and the plan is, you know, moving forward to make this an AVP wall and get the quarter scale to go with this next to the deep tail bust where you have the AVP set up, and move that right there. And that means this is going. So we've sold it. You know, so scale was the number one reason. It just does not scale. Second reason, I want to avoid collecting this line due to price, money. Well, price and money, same thing. The price, it's extremely expensive. Second, space. I just don't like the idea of having tons of giant predators here in the middle room. It makes the room feel cluttered. Ultimately, I prefer no statues middle room, but if I'm going to put something, ideally they need to be smaller, you know, not massive. Or, you know, I think Queen T-Rex could work due to the way it's done, but I don't think it would look good having the Prime 1 Predators mid-room. I'm not doing it here. And I've had this here for a few weeks, and I've decided, you know what, let's just let it go. I have a buyer. Let's just let it go. We've enjoyed this for over a year, and I think it's time to part ways. There's no doubt this is the most detailed, most accurate Jungle Hunter out there. But Prime 1 made that a few fatal flaws. One, they basically copied the pose of Cinemacat, but I still think Cinemacat has a better pose in my opinion. They took a very similar pose, made it worse, and then they overscaled it. If they had just done a different pose and made it scale same as Cinemacat, you know, and ideally not the exact same base, basically, you know, a different styled base, you know, then it would have been much better. So I know the quarter scale is not as good. I've watched videos. It's definitely not as good. The paint app, the skulls, but it does have the better pose. I will be displaying it mast holding the, you know, I like the way it holds the skull much better. You know, front hand where you can actually see it, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just overscaled. It's extremely expensive. Also, folks, I just don't have the box space. I'm at that point in my garage, and I'm actually going to show you that I am literally just completely maxed out on boxes. Like, I got barely enough to cover my next few statues. So by getting rid of this, that opens up 3 giant box spaces, and I don't have to prepare space for Berserker, Predator, and Wolf. I'm sure Berserker and Wolf are going to be absolute grails. They're going to be so amazing. But I am very happy with my Wolf Predator by Sideshow. It's dynamic. It's a grail for me. It's always been a personal grail since I got into collecting. And the Infinity Studios Berserker Predator has such a cool concept and 10 out of 10 paint and detail. Prime 1 is probably just equal in terms of paint and detail. You know, and it has definitely like a better base. But this concept of chopping off another head is just so cool for me. So I'm very happy with it. You know. But yeah. So, everyone, say your goodbyes. Nice to know you. Listen to that song by Incubus, Nice to Know You. It is a sad day in the Flank Cave for losing a grail, you know, but I think it is for the best. You know, we want to keep our statues in scale. And this kind of is like a half scale. Sorry, I had to do something. So yeah, it's definitely a sad day to see it go. I wish I could collect this line, but I do need to be realistic. And I'm still very happy with Cinema Cat. And I got Aliens FX, which, you know, has that perfect dot pattern I really like. But we're also getting Deep Tail, which, you know, arguably will be better than this. You know, and we've seen the quarter scale next to this one, and they look about the same size. You know, like the head size, the body. Obviously, it's a different pose. You know, it's like hunched over. But we have our Cinema Cat. And by selling this bad boy, it's also going to help me avoid the new Alien XL line. So I just won't be tempted. You know, because reselling statues nowadays is just so freaking difficult. So annoying when you lose money. I mean, I'm still losing money on this, but not that much. Like, just a little bit. But, you know, like when I was selling Hulkbuster, I was going to lose $2,000. And that, to me, was just causing severe anxiety. Now, in addition, it's a grail. This one, I'm just losing a little bit of money. So it's just like, if you lose a little bit, it doesn't bug me. But when you lose thousands, that is just like, you got shot in the heart by an arrow. You know, I feel like the green arrow just said, you have failed this city and shot you. So, yeah, I'm going to get one last good look at this bad boy. It's definitely a grail. I mean, who knows if I'll regret this. If I do, I could always just buy it back for, you know, the same price. You know, I just sold it. So it's not like I can't get this back. You know, where some other statues are more difficult to get back. You know, but this one can easily get back into the collection. Let's say somehow I come up with a new magical idea and I decide, you know what, I do want to collect this line, I'll just buy it back. But at this point, that's not the plan. And I really need to stick to my plans because my plans, I feel like they change weekly and it's getting too costly. So I got to stick to my guns. I need to stick to a plan and just fulfill it no matter what comes out. You know, and one thing's for certain, I am getting the Hellboy line at a minimum, Hellboy bust in 1/3. And I do want to Ape Sapien, likely the 1/3, because it's just easier to display. But I do also like the bust, and the bust is cheaper by, you know, $500. Nevertheless, let's show you what the garage looks like so you guys can have an idea of, you know, the box space. So first off, you know, I do have a tiny bit of box space here. Not a lot. Like, I could put like, what, 1 or 2 boxes right here? Not a lot. Alrighty, folks. So here, completely maxed out. I literally am taping Captain Marvel there. Here, I can put 1 box there and a thin box up there. I guess I could put a box here. You know, a very little walkway to my Tesla. You know, so it's like the walkway is super limited when I'm getting in and out of the car. And this is basically my box space, this. So Prime 1 Predator is actually just right here. So we're gonna remove some of these boxes. Like that is Prime 1 Predator. But this is all the box space I have, folks, this. So I'm gonna have to start throwing away boxes or canceling pre-orders or selling shit because I just don't have the boxes anymore. So stuff has got to go. Cause this is it. I ain't lying. Sauron, I threw away those boxes. They're right here. I can't even like throw this away. This is Sauron's boxes. I can't throw this away. Simply due to freaking bee. Oh my gosh, freaking bees, get away from me. I got stung by a bee the other day. There's so many of them.